Hi and welcome to Origin of Concepts. In this video I'll show you where to find the Chrysomallos, the golden winged ram from Greek mythology. Chrysomallos, I think that's the right pronouncement. Chrysomallos, yeah, is the divine winged golden fleeced ram in Greek mythology, born of Poseidon and Theophane, sent by the nymph Nephele to rescue her children from being sacrificed, and the ram carried them to Colchis. After its sacrifice to Zeus, its fleece became the legendary prize sought by Jason and the Argonauts. So this is the story about the Golden Fleece, which is also an order in real life. The Golden Order of the Golden Dawn and the Golden Fleece, I can't remember it. But there's an entire sect about that subject. And since flying rams doesn't exist in reality, let's go to the Milky Way Center and find it. Because Chrysomallos, the golden ram with wings, is visualized by the Milky Way Center. And let me start outlining it here. The head is the silvery shadow. And let me make the ram head here. And the ram's horn is of course the striped shadow here. We can follow it up here just to, and we got the eye of the ram here, that spot. So, and the ram is of course a golden ram because of the golden light here in the Milky Way Center. The golden light make the ram golden. And the ram also got wings, and the wing is also the striped shadow here. This is always the wing, or the wings. So here we got the wings. And the cloud nymph nephew is the silvery shadow. The children that is put on the back on the golden ram here. And I'll just outline it for you because it's important. It's the female's children. Here's your. And the children rescued on the ram is the striped shadow on the back of the ram. So let's try to visualize that. Here we got the ram again, and the eye, and this is the back of the ram. Not the lamb, the ram. And here we got all the children, the stripes and the striped shadow. That's the children on the back of the ram. And the sacrificed ram, when the ram is getting sacrificed, then it is visualized by the white area here. That's both the lamb and the ram in this case. The Lamb of God. And it is sacrificed with the fire here from the golden disc, and the wood for the fire is of course the striped shadow here. And by the way, this is also the entire Milky Way Center here is the altar in the Every time you see an altar or hear about an altar in the church, in the cathedral, in the temple, whatever, the Milky Way center is the altar where you can burn stuff and it becomes to spirit, or you can obtain the spirit from the spirit light in the Milky Way center. And it all runs back and forth to the striped shadow here. So you get the disc light or wisdom or spirit, and if you're offering on the altar, you give spirit back. So that's very, very simple, and that's an ancient ritual, which have, from the first text you can ever find in the Vedas, for example. It's that old. Okay. And then we got the Golden Fleece, because when the ram is sacrificed, there's only the Golden Fleece back. And the Golden Fleece is what is left, so to speak, of the ram. It's the striped shadow here. So that's the Golden Fleece of the ram. And the reason why it is golden, I don't have to say it, but I'll do it anyway, is because of the spirit light from the disk in the Milky Way center runs flowing into the striped shadow here and make the fleece golden. The striped shadow is also the wool of the sheep or the wool of the ram. So now we know why the Argonauts in their boat, the striped shadow here is also the Argonaut boat. I'll make a video about that, looking for the Golden Fleece, because it's very, very important, because that's the manifested spirit, and that's what mankind wants to obtain, the spirit and the wisdom. All right. And it also states here in one text, the Golden Fleece of the ram was then famously hung in a grove, guarded by a dragon. Okay, so now you know where to find the Golden Fleece here. So let's find the grove, because the grove is all the trees standing here, the striped shadow, which is, by the way, also the serpent. The striped shadow is always the curled serpent, or the intertwined serpents, the coiled serpent. That was. So here you got both of them again. The striped shadow. The striped shadow is the most, I think, it's the most famous shadow in the world ever. So if you ever need some real art at your wall at home, just make a picture with this striped shadow, because it's more famous than you can ever imagine. It's used for basically every single religion, concept, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But that's what the ancients saw in the sky, and that's why all the stories around the world is so similar, because they observed the same lights and shadows in the sky on the big screen in the theater in the sky. And the winged ram was later used to outline and name the constellation Aries. So, and there is, it's commonly believed that Aries is way older than Ptolemy in Egypt, but I don't think that's the case, because when we speak about Aries, before the Ptolemy area in Mesopotamia and further back, it was not constellation, it was the Milky Way center. And it was, Ptolemy was the first, to outline the constellations and use the name from the Milky Way center to place them there. So that's my opinion on that. There's no constellations mentioned in any myth, or vice versa. There's not a single myth, the known famous myth that's based on constellations. Not even the ancient Mesopotamian myth. Okay, that's all. Now you know where to find the golden ram, the golden winged ram in the sky. Thank you so much for watching, and until next video, take care. Bye.